the D&D Morning Show. We're here in the Big Apple.
New York City.
New York City. And we just wanted to bring you along into what we're doing here in NYC.
Yeah, so we're super excited. We wanted to, now I do kind of pride myself in being a very amateur photographer, videographer. So we wanted to have the city in the background, downtown in the background, and so the video is a bit darker than we would have liked. But again, we wanted to show you the background. We thought it'd be cool to do a video, a morning show right here in New York City.
York City.
And bring you along with us on our travels. So yeah, so here we are, and I want to talk about some of your favorite thing about being in New York City. So why don't you tell us?
You want me to go first?
Yeah, let us know. What is
nothing like putting me on the spot, right? Thanks. Let me think for a second. My favorite part about New York City, I love all of the, I don't know how to explain perfectly, but all of the options there are of things to do. So for example, you can keep busy every day of the week just going to shows and doing like tourist attractions.
And we have.
And we have, yeah. So I guess, the entertainment part of it, you know?
That's
I mean,
good.
I would go to a show every night if Drew let me. But he won't let me. Can you believe it?
They're only a couple $100 a show.
Well, actually, we got the show we went to Waitress. Phenomenal, really good show. And we got really good tickets last minute. So, tip if you're looking to go to New York City is wait till you get here, and then you can find ticket booths for cheaper tickets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you go, usually online, it's kind of deceiving online sometimes because they're like, great deal or 50% off, but you're still paying like $100 a ticket. If you get to the city, you can a lot of times find it half off.
Yeah.
So
we did get a good deal. Good. And everywhere you go, the seats or the view is pretty good. So you don't worry about being in the back or.
Yeah, well, we were in the nosebleeds, but you know, it didn't affect the quality of the show or anything. And I was saying to Drew last night, like, I almost like it better up there because you can see the whole stage. You know, I had front row, well, not front row, but seats about 5 rows back in the front ones, and you can, it's kind of like tunnel vision, like you can't see the whole thing because you're so close. Mm-hmm. So I liked being up there.
You got to see everything.
Yeah. But yeah, unlimited entertainment.
Yeah, that's. I guess that would be similar to mine. Mine, I don't realize it till you leave, but the whole city buzzes. It's crazy. There's so many people moving around. There's so much action. There's so much energy. Like, it's crazy. It's like this crazy whirlwind. And then you get back to, or I suppose you leave the city and it's quiet.
Yeah.
And I suppose maybe that. I don't know, there's something magical about New York City. We've traveled quite a bit, been all over, we love different parts of the world, and there's, you know, something about New York City that you won't find anywhere else.
Yeah.
And I think that's cool. And again, I don't notice it till I leave, and then I'm like, oh, where's that buzz, where's that magic? And then you realize it's the city. Mm-hmm. And the city never sleeps, it never stops, there's cars honking, and all day long it's constant. There's so many people, it's unreal.
Yeah, it's so big. Like, we went up to Rockefeller Observation Deck and top of the rock, and you see all of Manhattan, like the whole city, and it's so like it's huge, and you're like, I'm just this like tiny little speck like out of everything. It's
crazy. Yeah, standing above millions and millions of people, like, it's unreal. It's just the whole experience. If you haven't got a chance to come to New York, I'd recommend taking a trip and just seeing what it's all about.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
Tell me your least favorite part of New York City. Throwing it out there.
Let me think. You know, what's difficult for me to get used to is just walking in the streets with that many people. You get bumped, you get pushed, you gotta be quick on your feet. Like, you know, you can't stop. You gotta keep moving, because if you stop, then buddy behind you is gonna smack into you, right? But it's like always a hustle in the streets, because there's so many people. Drew just usually grabs me, pulls me around the city, so I'm like falling behind him. It's not that dramatic.
Only sometimes.
But you know, like I traveled when I was younger to Europe and things like that. But I've always lived in small town, so city sometimes I forget. Like, gotta pay attention. You gotta look out
All the time.
all the time. So I'm like looking around sometimes, and Drew's like, "Come on!"
Pay attention.
Or like I'll go to walk across the street, and he'll be like, "Whoa!"
You do get preoccupied sometimes.
Yeah, we actually have a good Philly story when we went to Philadelphia.
I think it's the first time Dorothy's been in any kind of big city.
Perhaps, I'm not sure. Well, I was to Paris and stuff, but I don't know. Tell them the suitcase story.
Oh, well, we were, fresh off the plane, and we were looking for our hotel, and, it's not like New York City, but Philadelphia, it's a big city. There's cars and people and noise, and I think Dorothy was a little taken back, and I just remember you, and she had one of those suitcases, and at least at the time, I hadn't really seen one before, but you usually pull a suitcase, and this one, it sat straight up.
The 4-wheel suitcase, that you just it comes along with you, It doesn't drag behind you.
So she's walking across the street, we get off the bus or the cab, whatever, we're crossing the street to our hotel, and she's holding her suitcase like this, just looking around, crossing the street, and I was like, "What are you doing?" There's cars like, vroom, vroom.
And I'm like, there's our hotel, come on!
So I grabbed her and I was like, "Let's go!" Because, in different areas, they don't stop for you. It's not like, "Oh, let's just stop," especially here in New York City. Like,
they don't stop.
it's crazy. The cars are like this far from you, and they're flying down in between the streets, and you're standing on the corner. And that's why I tell Dorothy, like, you don't get a second chance. You always have to pay attention.
Yeah.
So everything moves a little bit quicker. But I grew up in the city, and I enjoy more of the city life than quieter country, I suppose. So maybe I'm a bit more used to that.
What's your least favorite part?
Oh, least favorite is the cabbies. The cabs honking their horn and the traffic. We walk. We take the subway a couple times, take a bus. We're gonna take the train. And in a lot of places, we actually got a chance to meet Dan Millman.
Woo!
That was super exciting. One of probably my favorite author, and he sat down and had tea with us.
Very nice guy, just genuine.
Yeah, awesome guy. And he moved from California out here to New York, and of course it's completely different, but he said they sold their cars. He takes a bike, and then you take the subway, and I think that's normal for people that live in the city. You don't drive cars for the most part, but of course you see the streets are jam-packed, and that's my least favorite thing is this. The traffic is crazy, and people seem a bit obnoxious. My apologies if there's any New Yorkers checking this, but just people laying on the horn, and it's not like, and I don't mind tapping the horn a bit,
It's like,
and they'll sit on the horn for a good 25 seconds, just nah. And I was thinking, like, is that necessary? Is that going to help anything?
Is that how your horn sounds like?
Yeah, so and I always wonder, we asked actually another author we met, Dr. Drew Ramsey, and he said that, I said, "You ever get used to the honking of the horns?" And he said, "Yeah, he said, you zone it out after a while."
And then I said, it's like where we live next to Auction Mart, all the cows. Get used to the cow sounds on auction day.
Yeah.
Anyway, we should get into the show here. Just rambling.
Yeah. Well, so we wanted to talk about traveling a bit. And traveling and living a healthy lifestyle. And when we travel to different areas, like we go to Los Angeles quite often, that's a bit more lifestyle, I suppose. It's easier for us to it doesn't feel like we're visiting, it doesn't feel like we're a tourist.
It's a home to us.
Yeah, more like a home. So that's a bit easier, but when you go to some place that's completely foreign, you have to make I suppose I just heard I wonder if they can hear him. Just heard the cars honking out there. But it's a little bit different, I suppose. So you have to plan ahead a bit better. You have to make some, have different options and have a different mindset, I suppose, when you're going into an area or a place where you know is completely different from what you're used to.
Mm-hmm.
So what are some of the things that we've been able to do, and I suppose the successes we found by traveling and staying healthy?
Well, whenever we book a place, no matter where we go, has to have a kitchen. And when we get in, we usually first stop is the grocery store. So here in New York City, when we got in at night, we unpacked or whatever, and then off to Whole Foods we went. And we kind of planned what food we wanted to eat for the week. So breakfast was granola and milk, and then we got stuff for veggie sandwiches, so eggs, so you kind of plan so you have multiple meals, or else you run into the grocery store every time you want to eat.
Yeah, and well, here in New York is a bit easier because there's everything everywhere.
Yes.
Grocery stores close to everywhere you go.
Yeah.
But if you're not going to an area, we plan ahead. So we actually will stay in a place close to a grocery store.
Yeah.
So plan ahead with that as well. That's important.
Yeah.
And then having, like you said, like meal planning. That's what we do in our monthly membership group.
Yeah.
Is set that out in advance, and we knew exactly what we were going to have.
So we carry a backpack around with us everywhere we go, and then inside we have, fruit and sandwiches, granola bars, things that we can carry around with us all day because we know we're going to be gone. And it's actually kind of funny because people would ask us, like, what do you got in your backpack? Like, what do you carry around there? And we're like, it's our food.
Yeah, everybody asks us, like, what's in the bag? Why is it so heavy?
Yeah.
Well, we have to have our food. That's important.
Yeah.
First of all, we don't want to stop and eat.
Yeah.
Eat out everywhere we go, and then you never know what you're going to do.
Yes.
We had a plan, like a mindset of what we're going to do or where we're going to go, but you never know when you're going to get back.
Yeah.
Or when your next meal is. So.
Well, and you always find something neat. Like one night we were on our way home here, and then we found this cool little park with like ice skating and all kinds of like cool boutiques and stuff. And you never know if you're going to pass by again because the city's so huge. So we went in and took a look, and yeah.
Let's take a breath together.
What? Just breathe.
So some of the things that we wanted to talk about was eating out.
Yes, because we do eat out, like probably on average once a day. We have a meal out.
Yeah.
When we travel.
So some of I guess the important thing is to know that you're going to a healthier place. And I mean, there's so many options around. I mean, we found this place called Sweet Greens, and we ate there a couple times. But it's just this huge like salad buffet of all kinds of different cold salads, warm salads, all kinds of different combinations. It was crazy. But if you look around, there are places that you can find that are healthy.
And then sometimes, like last night, it was later, and we didn't really do our research of where we wanted to go. We found a place, but the menu was tough.
Yeah.
Like lots of deep fried steak, burgers, fries, but you do the best you can. Like there was salad bar, so we got salad bar, and then we got a salmon rice veggie kind of meal. Yeah. So sometimes it is tough. You walk into a restaurant, but usually you're able to find something or can get creative somehow, even if it is a tough menu.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, sometimes I think it's difficult, might be difficult for people that may travel with us, or family, however that, whoever is with us, it might be difficult or challenging, but we always say that we can find something on the menu,
usually, yeah.
And like Dorothy was saying, there's always, regardless of how many unhealthy options, unless you go into like McDonald's.
Yeah, no fast food.
you're gonna find something on the menu. So just make those options. Be conscious of those options. We put in so much time and effort to stay healthy, and keep those gains and those successes. So when you go out, especially when you're on vacation, look for those healthy options, because we had that salmon last night. It was delicious.
It was very good. Yeah.
Salad bar wasn't fantastic, but I mean, it's kind of a give and take. I know I felt much better eating that salad bar than I would than having like I wouldn't eat a burger, but if I were to have a burger or some deep fried food.
Yeah. Then, and one other thing I wanted to mention about food too was that you can splurge occasionally as well.
Yeah.
You know, like we're not perfect. We, you know, we went out, we had some pizza, some beers, and it's all part of traveling. Now, if we did that every day when we traveled, it wouldn't
That'd be a little bit different.
That'd be too much. But you know, like you can relax and
enjoy yourself.
Enjoy yourself as well.
That's one of the things when someone says like, I can't ever have a cheeseburger again, or you
can never have a slice of pizza again, or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, like we don't drink very often, but we'll sit down and have a beer every once in a while, like have a beer, and like we were out and there was this this pizza place, like hey, let's try this pizza, and like it's not something that we I guess we don't enjoy it very often.
No.
But when you do have those little things, understand that you can have them. Don't feel guilty about them, and enjoy them, because you know it's at least for us that's not something that happens very often. So if you're gonna do it, you may as well enjoy it.
Well, it's funny because I did actually feel guilty the next morning. Remember, we had some beer, we had some pizza, and then the next morning I said, "Oh, Drew, like I feel bad about what I did. Like shameful, shame on me." And Drew's like, "You're allowed. Like we don't do that very often, and we had fun, right? So let's move on."
Yeah. And that's important for you guys as well. Like if something like that happens, if you give in to temptation, or if you just go out and enjoy yourself with friends and family or whatever it is, just enjoy it and move on with life. It happened, it's over with, and move on. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
Anything else we have going on the show here?
I think we covered traveling pretty well. You know, we walked all the time. We got a run in, so
staying active is important.
Yeah.
Like I think that it's important to continue. We usually, actually do different types of workouts while we travel. These days it was so jam packed that, in a different note, like we could actually sit down and make time for that in the morning or whenever that is. But we walked so much. We were doing like 25,000 steps, almost 30,000 steps, and I just thought, like, I was literally exhausted after days from walking.
Oh, remember, Drew? Drew looks at me, we've been walking all day. It's close to like home time. And Drew's like, looks at me and he says, "Do you think it's possible for your feet to literally fall off?" Is he delusional? Is he going out of his mind?
I was losing the bit. Well, we've been walking for days, like it was days. Like we've been here for a number of days, and you walk that long every day. And my feet, like I changed different shoes. I was like walking in my running shoes. I had some nicer dress-up shoes, and my feet just hurt. I was like, I think my feet are gonna fall off.
And I was like, hold on, drama queen. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, I just pictured in my head like Drew's feet like walking independently from his body and just like two little stumps. Doop, doop, doop.
All right.
Anyway,
I think that's enough.
That's a bit far. But that was the picture I got in my head when you were.
Dorothy has no line. Draw the line somewhere. Anyways,
Anyway.
So, if you can get active, stay active, walk, get your workouts and whatever it is while you're traveling.
Yes.
And that's really what we wanted to cover. We wanted to share some of our experiences with you. If you're in our membership group, then you know we've posted pictures and meals and more details. But that's what we have for you today.
Yeah.
So
thanks for coming in and checking out our video and being with us on our trip.
Yeah, we'll catch you on the next show.
See you later.